My mother had two brothers, and her father, my grandfather, I've never met them, and their families, and they all died in the Holocaust. And then when the war was over, my mother wrote to the Red Cross to find out what happened to her family. And about a year later, in '46, a letter came one day, and it said they were all gone, and told my mother the story of as much as they knew. And that gave me a tremendous feeling of guilt. While I was going to Rockaway Beach with my mother every summer and eating ice cream cones and hanging out with my friends, my family was dying. And so I decided I had to do something. And what I had to do is I had to do something for my people in return for the fact that I didn't suffer. So I developed the idea of Zionism. I was going to go to Israel, I was going to live in a kibbutz, and I was going to work, and I was going to do something for my people by building a new country. So I became an avid Zionist. I read every book on Israel and Palestine, and then I went into Egyptian history. Anything that was even a bit tangential to Judaism, I wanted to have also. I just used every book in the library. I just bring home 7, 8 books, and so became a Zionist. And eventually, I joined a Zionist organization because I found there were other people like me who also wanted to do something about building a home. And so that became my life after that. And that got me to Israel, of course. In Israel, one doesn't need it. You are Jewish. You don't have to, in New York, you had to do things to be Jewish, you know, and you felt you were on the outside, even though it was a very Jewish city. Somehow, Judaism was something you did in addition to being American. You were aware that there was Christmas and that wasn't your holiday. You were aware that people, you know, that some of the kids in your class, or some of the kids, not in your class, but kids in the block went to communion. They had little black things in their head. You were aware that you were a minority, that you weren't, even though you felt like a lot of Jews were living in that neighborhood, you were aware that in America it wasn't all Jewish, that your Judaism was something you had to make an effort to observe. Whereas in Israel, you didn't feel that way. At least I didn't feel that way. It was just, I never thought about it really. At first, the first few weeks I thought, that policeman is Jewish, the garbage collector is Jewish. It was such a strange thing, you know. But after a while, you stop thinking about that. In Israel, it was all one piece. You know, it was just, on Jewish holidays, everything was closed. On Shabbat, there was no traffic. On Yom Kippur, the world just closed down. So you couldn't escape being Jewish. You were aware of, you know, something that you just lived. You didn't think about it. You know, you knew that you were part of a Jewish people, and you knew that your people had just gone through a horrible trauma, and there were things you had to do, like living in the kibbutz. And you know, I lived there for almost 3.5 years.